In my previous video I mentioned that the mobile market is the worst market, but it wasn't always like that. About 10 years ago I used to brag to my classmates about my amazing record in Subway Surfers, until I found out that the guy sitting next to me was in the top 10 players in the country, while being in 4th grade. Turns out he just didn't have internet at home, so he spent all day playing Surfers. The game came out 14 years ago and absolutely exploded the play market, staying at the top of Google Play charts for years. Sure, in recent years you could feel the locations repeating and the gameplay getting stale, and then boom, Subway Surfers City appears. The moment it launched, I ran to download it. I remember when I signed up for notifications about its release. I kept wondering, was it really worth making a new game with the same mechanics and updated graphics? Wouldn't it have been easier to just update the old one? But it turned out to be far more interesting than that. The game greets you with a single button, run, and immediately throws you into the action. It's the same old beloved Subway Surfers, but with the new graphics and music. And oh my god, the music. The controls haven't changed one bit, exactly the same as before. The goal? The same. Run across 3 lanes and dodge obstacles. Among the new additions are half trains that let you jump onto taller trains. There's also a new hoverboard system. Instead of buying them with currency, you now earn special points during gameplay. Everything else sticks to the classic formula. Tapping the screen triggers a trick animation, not as cool as it sounds, but hey, respect for trying. The graphics have definitely leveled up. The game weighs over 400 MB plus additional data, which honestly isn't that bad. FPS doesn't seem to suffer from it either. My phone does heat up a bit, though that might just be my device. I've got a Snapdragon that somehow struggles even in games like this, but hey, it's winter, at least I'll stay warm. The environment feels familiar, but more alive. You could even say the players interact with it. More on that later. As trains approach, they start shaking, which thankfully gives the impression that the driver is trying to stop. They've also added jump platforms, seemingly replacing the pogo sticks from the previous game. The animation and physics feel nice overall, solid work. Regular locations gradually become tighter and more cramped, creating genuine panic and adrenaline. They show up at just the right moment because the gameplay in the previous title definitely felt more limited. And that music. At the end of your run, you get to admire your results and are introduced to the level system. It's basically a battle pass, but entirely free. There are paid battle passes too, of course, but they show them to you later, once you've already fallen in love with the game. From leveling up you get character upgrade points and coins for improvements, and pretty quick you are rewarded with a costume for Jake. There aren't many costumes yet, but the developers promise regular updates and tons of content, so we'll see. Character upgrades provide different buffs, each character had their own, though most of them boil down to extra coins or score bonuses. There are already quite a few characters, some seemingly new. I haven't played the original in a while, so I'm not sure, but the old ones are here too, looking like they came back from a time skip. Fresh, straight up looks like Lucas from Stranger Things. Characters, by the way, are unlocked with special points. They take a while to collect, but it feels worth it. And there are enough free ones to start with. Though, later on, new characters do become useful. One thing I truly don't understand is the new falling down mechanic. Yes, it existed before, but now it has a new purpose – bonuses. Sometimes underground there are boards that you can smash, but they are ridiculously hard to notice at high speed. The only thing that marks them are pin question marks, and even that wasn't enough for me personally. Maybe I'm blind, maybe it's intentional, but it was slightly annoying. They can drop anything – coins, hoverboard points, maybe even buffs. There are also trampolines on train roofs, which is awesome, but to me they look just like regular train roofs. At high speed I barely have time to notice them, let alone react properly. Still, this is exactly what the game was missing before – variety. I just wish they were a bit more visible. They also added chewing gum, which works similarly to the boots from the previous game, the ones I hated because they ruined every jump. Now apparently you have to deliberately hit the ground to bounce up. But that creates a new problem. When you are trying to collect a line of coins or a bonus mid-jump, you aim downward, and suddenly you are flying back into the sky. Still better than the boots though. Another new feature, hoverboard batteries. Pretty self-explanatory. They just extend your burst duration, thanks for that. After such a pack of pleasant additions, you feel like something even bigger is coming, but for now that's it. And honestly, that's fair. New buffs will probably be added later. There are also missions in the game with more noticeable early rewards. For example, Miss Maya from the previous title. It's a shame they haven't brought back my favorite character yet, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. Besides the standard endless run, there's a new mode, City Tour. Here you play through pre-designed levels with specific objectives. This is where the game truly shines. The tasks are easy to complete, the maps are genuinely well designed, and there's vertical gameplay, something that was surely missing before. So here it is, the perfect continuation of a legendary game. It's genuinely well made, so where's the catch? And here come the downsides. For some reason, if you don't use your hoverboard for about a minute, the game starts pointing at you with a huge blue hand, basically saying, hey, maybe you use your item, and it's honestly distracting. At the same time, the game doesn't get boring after 5 minutes. The new mechanics genuinely add flavor. You reach a new level and unlock a new board. Boards also provide buffs, again, mostly coins and score bonuses. Maybe there are special boards, or maybe they'll add some later, like speed boosting or flying ones from the previous game. Boards can also be upgraded, which is nice, though it gets expensive quickly. The shop looks really similar to Brawl Stars, seriously. Free items, boxes with upgrade points, but hey, free stuff is free stuff. When you unlock a new character, you create your crew. Besides giving you a starting score bonuses, it also lets you encounter your own characters during rounds and earn additional bonus points. After unlocking the shop, the game immediately throws even more reasons at you to love it, and maybe drop a few bucks. Now you're jumping into the sea, running over the water, dodging animated obstacles that genuinely feel dynamic and alive. Then you run into a tunnel and the sound fades out. Cool? That's understatement. Running feels smooth, there's plenty of variety, each character even has their own record-based rewards, so you can grind records on all of them. And then it appears, the Battle Pass. You almost want to buy it instantly, the game's good after all, and it even gives you a bunch of rewards right away. But then the ads show up, and they show up almost every time after you lose. Sure, make your money, but it does become a bit much. You can skip them quickly, and compared to other mobile games it's still very reasonable, but at first it felt like there wouldn't be any. So what's the final verdict? The game feels alive, there's finally variety, and I'll definitely keep playing it for a few more days. I recommend you try it too. In this era of hyper-casual overload, this one actually feels refreshing. If you're not chasing ultra rewards, the game welcomes you without aggressive pay-to-win mechanics. It perfectly continues the legacy of the first game, and it genuinely brings joy. It's been a while since we've seen such a worthy sequel. Despite some downsides, the game does feel slightly raw, but it's day one of release and there's no doubt it will grow, so we wait and watch. Thanks for watching and play good games.